Hello, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I was wondering if that had changed the music, but no, the music was changing at that exact same time. Um, Diablo, hello! How are you doing today? Yes, the starting never. Yes. Yes, indeed. It has been a while, and as you can see, I have no green screen up behind me. Slightly out of view, I have the green screen folded up on a table covered in dust, so I probably need to wash it. Also, I need to find the stands and put those up. Yeah, moving sucks. I suppose moving sucks along with getting multiple contracts, which that part doesn't suck, but it does take all the time away. So that's where I've been for the last half a year or more. When was my last stream? It was like in February or something. Yeah, I ended up getting 3 contracts, which was more than 55 hours per week just working on them on their own. Plus, I was moving. So, as you can imagine, that led to a lot of overtime work. So I'm glad that's done. One of those contracts finished. The other contract is ending in next month on the 9th, and so I'll be back down to 1 contract, and I'm slowly starting to spin that down too. So that way I'll have no contracts for an unknown amount of time, and I'll be able to hang out with you all a lot more often. Although I have been trying to hang out with you all in Discord, so I haven't been completely gone from everything. Just on the Twitch side. So let's see. Talking about the Discord, that's where today's project sort of came from. Somebody had shared a fun project where somebody had thrown in it was like a you don't know what's going on, just like throw it to have AI do something with that. And so I thought that would be the perfect sort of fun, crazy project to do with AI coming back. Because first, it's AI, people like that, and second, it's not a serious AI project, which also other people like too. So in this case, I'm thinking about naming this project AI Take the Wheel. Hopefully you all get that reference. And it's going to be an air handling library where instead of crashing, never crash. Instead of crashing, we just ask the AI to return something that should be fine. People don't like that? Well, that's true. There's always people that don't like everything. Or something. Whatever. Something like that. Okay, so I have a hard stop in 3 hours today. I have to drive and go to an Apple store and have them replace my battery because service recommended. I've actually tested it. The battery is going down pretty fast. I can maybe last like 3 hours or so in meetings when I used to be able to last a lot longer. So, although I can just blame Zoom for that, maybe. Possibly. I think that's easy. All right. I also have to remember I have the combined chat over there. I have Twitch chat over here. I should probably move that over that way so I can see both chats in a relative same place. I do have a larger desk here than I did in the previous house, which is sort of like funny because the house is a lot smaller, the room is a lot smaller, this desk is a lot bigger, and I can put an extra monitor on it, which is nice. Let's see, Saweed, hello. How are you doing today? Please create a video teaching Helix if I have the time. So I thought about that. I think the only problem is I don't know if I know enough about Helix yet to really feel comfortable teaching with it. But I'm continuing to use it. I think one problem that I've had in this last half a year or so of doing contracts, only one of the contracts was a programming contract. The other two contracts are in leadership positions. So director of engineering, development, however you want to, what do you want to call the engineering teams on a company? That's what I've been doing. Yeah, and Diablo's question, isn't Helix's tutor enough, is a good question. I guess, like, Saweed, if I would ask, have you gone through the Helix tutor? And let me show you what I mean by that. Also, let's make you bigger. So if you do Helix tutor, it drops you in an interactive tutor inside of Helix, which is really nice. And I do also like that you have to read it, obviously. Press the J key until you reach the introduction. So, like that. And then it just goes through, and it basically is just a bunch of chapters. It's a book, essentially, that has you move around and sort of play around. It's like, okay, I can go up, down, left, right. Things like that. Helix Project is always interested in the feedback on a tutor, by the way. I rarely use the tutor anymore. I remember us going through it. I think the only time in the last 6 months that I opened up the tutor was because I forgot what key stopped multi-lines. Multiple cursors. Yeah, comma. So it's comma here, and I forgot what that was. And so when I had a bunch here, and I'm like, wait a second, now I'm screwed. What do I do? And I was trying all the different things. I was trying, what was it? It was, I think I tried, like, kept on doing things like that. And it's like, no, it's comma. That's how to do it. Yeah, exactly. You got the same thing. It's like, I tried that too. Is like, I tried period. It's like, oh, no, that's doing that. This is not what I want. Oh, and period doesn't actually just create a new line. Period, I believe, recreates or redoes the last thing that you did. Not exactly like a macro, but basically just in case you did like a bunch of complicated stuff, it's a little bit easier to just repaste. Okay, so I have Olama installed and it's running. I updated it this morning. I tested, or I did a pull on a model here. Oh, and I suppose another sort of just good tidbit of information in case things go awry with this stream. We are on a Starlink internet here. Now, in previous times when I've been visiting this location, not living here, I was streaming off of my notebook computer, just the Apple computer, and doing the programming and streaming from there. I've got my desktop with me, and so therefore we should be a lot better. And I also got range extenders for the Wi-Fi, so quality of the connection should be a lot better. And we're sitting here with no drop frames, 3200 kilobits per second. So that should be good. Chantilly, hello. How are you doing today? Happy Saturday. All right, let us see what we can do here. I want to create. Okay, so I should probably just create the project first. So let's do take. This is gonna be a Rust project, so let's just do a Rust up. Rust up? No, cargo. Cargo, new. This is probably a binary project, so this is gonna be fine. And we'll call this AI take the video. We got everything here. You can ask Helix for help. Which key command pellet is space? Oh, If you do have to be in Helix for that to work. Space, and then question mark opens up that. So I think, oh, okay. That question mark messed with my brain there, Diablo. You were stating that as a fact. The question mark made me think it was a question. Which I suppose makes sense because it was at the end of the line, but yes. Thank you for that. For those of you who are new or interested in Helix, this is a really interesting thing if you're used to something like VS Code, where you can do Command or Control Shift P to open up the command palette. I can do space, just not hold, just like tap space, question mark, and it opens up the exact same thing. I can then type anything that I want, any command that I want, and it shows me what the bindings are for that, if there are any. Pretty much everything here you can set as a binding if you want to. A lot of things you probably won't want to because just you won't use it that often. But it's a nice way to sort of get around things if you have no idea what's going on. You can even like just moving characters around. They show that off right at the top, which I think is really good. Okay, so I do believe I have the latest version of Helix. I do believe I have the latest version of Rust. So I think we're good to go to get started here. Oh, right, there's a new... So there's file... Right, I think that's what it is. They added E here for Open Explore, File Explorer. Right, because there's now an Explorer that I can play around with, as opposed to just the file tree, which is something that, I mean, I want to say almost everybody has been asking for, me, myself included, since Helix came out. So we finally have a File Explorer. And we can play around with it. And it works pretty much like all the other file explorers that we might be used to. We can go into source. I can drop into the file there. And it's E or capital E, depending upon if I want to start at the root of the project or at the current directory that the file is in that I'm opening up. So either way, really nice. Okay. So the first thing that we want to do is want to actually play around with my BBOLAMA or BBLM library that I created for that meetup talk I did last year in December, which feels like years ago, but I think it was just this last December or November. For those of you who weren't here, I did a meetup talk talking about building agents with LLMs without using any libraries. So we did everything from scratch. We did not use any framework. Okay, sorry. Libraries is the wrong word there. Frameworks. We did not use any frameworks like LangChain. We just built everything ourselves, and I didn't record that meetup talk, which would have been really nice because it was probably the best meetup talk I had given. But we did do a video on just sort of me going through the project and what that looks like. Now, I don't remember if I created that library from here, but like I think shortly afterwards, I created this BBLM library, which I have BBOLAMA as a sub project from here, sort of connect and get access to it. I want to say that this works. I want to say that I'm able to do a generation for Olama with this, which I suppose the only way for us to play around with this is to actually try it. And so you are Okay, so down one, BBLM, and then BB Olama. Although in here, yeah, I don't have anything inside of that. So I'm going to have to pull you out, aren't I? You have, okay, so you're a workspace with BB Olama. I think the original idea that I had with this, probably a premature optimization, was that I might have something like BB OAI, BB Claude, BB Gemini, things like that. So I can make calls to whichever, or all of them at the same time if I wanted to, and play around with that. And basically this was just a generic wrapper around all of the AIs, which I never really finished, but I think we're going to find out. So BBLM, BB Olama. Go Vaishvik Tech Innovations. Hello, how are you doing today? I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. What are we building today? We're building an AI error handling library for Rust, because that's my decision for the come back to the stream fun project that I can work on. We need to. I probably should remember to actually just do a normal file every once in a while, because I know what this file name was. Okay, dependencies. What is this called? This is going to be BB Olama. And we're going to have... Is it file? You're not giving me any help here. Isn't it file? Or is source? Something like that? I'm surprised you use Olama instead of upstream Llama CPP. Olama just uses effectively stolen code and has pivoted into marketing hosted inference services. Oh, that sucks. To be clear, I actually have Llama CPP on my system and I've never used it. Maybe I have. I don't remember anymore. I used Olama at the beginning because a community member had suggested it to me, and so I just sort of started using that, and now it's been like, what, 6, 7 months, 8 months since I've turned it on even. So that sucks that it's now using that. All right. Well, we'll do it for this one because I don't have, unless the connection library doesn't work. But yeah, that sucks. It only recently jumped the shark. Oh man, I hate it when libraries do that, but it happens shockingly often. Maybe not shockingly. It's one of the reasons why. Well, I mean, web development, we constantly say like things are moving so fast, right? It's because of this type of thing. Libraries come in, libraries go out. They don't go out because of any reason. It goes out because they made decisions that the community doesn't like, and so a new community opens up and comes in. Okay, that explains that. I haven't really been paying attention to those subreddits at all, so I probably would have known that had I been paying attention to it. All right, well, we'll have to put a disclaimer that I'm only doing this because I haven't paid attention to anything in the last 8 months. And maybe I can do another video on like how to set up Llama CPP, or maybe we can just do that live on stream sometime. I mean, we could pivot to just setting that up right now. Do I have... How, is there a way to set that up? I have the Llama CLI. Is that what I would use? I was just thinking if I wanted to try to set up Llama CPP, because I haven't done anything at all with it, so I haven't looked at any documentation. I think that I have it on my system, but I'm assuming that a bunch of these commands I got through installing Llama CPP, but I have no clue. Don't use it from Brew. I probably installed it from Brew. So yeah, doing all the wrong things. To be honest, I don't actually care if it's that up to date or not for a project like this. Because we're not going to be doing anything insanely fast. Or insanely edge, like where we need the new stuff. This stream is about doing all the wrong things. Yeah. Well, that's about learning, right? Like when we're learning and doing stuff, we do the wrong things, and that's fine. It sometimes matters if you're screwing with the newer models. Oh, yeah, we won't be screwing with the newer models right now. In fact, I don't really care. Here, I could show you. Bear in mind, still have the Ollama stuff here, but this is what I've got. Let's get rid of that. My plan today was to work with probably the 3.1, the Llama 3.1 8B instruct FP16 because it's really small. Oh, yeah, so Chantilly, so Homebrew is maintained by just people. So it requires people to do pull requests into the sort of like the mega repo that Homebrew is to get it then pushed out to systems. That puts a, just like if you know, or you're aware of like theory of constraints at all, having any kind of like singular point of entry into the ecosystem for that is gonna now make it really slow. Even if you have like a full team that is constantly pulling things in, it's sort of like the App Store for Apple at that point in time. Although still better than that. It just requires people to look over it, thumbs up the pull request, and then bring it in. So that's the reason why. And of course, some people might just forget and not put it on Homebrew for weeks. I've certainly seen that with some projects before in the past. Llama CLI runs it in a prompt you can talk to. Llama server does the OpenAI API implementation. Okay. So Llama CLI runs in a prompt you can talk to. But is that... So Llama... Unable to load model. Do I even have a model? How does it know that model to try to run? My guess is I don't even have a model. Which would be, of course, a problem because these models are pretty beefy to download. But that's, I'm guessing what my problem is here is that I need to download and install a new model. Which I'd be fine in doing a let's see, switch to Llama CPP. You supply file name or Hugging Face URL, but hold on, Katie is eating your taskbar and you can't switch to terminal. Okay. Read the -- help in the meantime. All right, let's come down here. Full screen that again. Okay. Chat conversation, your model, your helpful assistant. Oh, right. And then, oh, I wonder how much bandwidth that would take. So one sort of negative with my internet situation, I used to be on a fiber optic line when I was back in Denver, but we're in California now, and I'm on Starlink, so I don't have super fast internet. Faster than WeWork, though. I found that out. That was fun. And I just saw that Starlink recently requested, and I think got permission from the FCC to increase the power of all their satellites and the dishes, which probably means higher speeds coming down the pipeline in the near term future. So that'll be exciting too. Okay, if I go to Hugging Face, I want to find, now the model that I'm aware of is fairly censored, which is a good thing for me, is Llama. Llama 4 never made a small one, right? So if I do 3.2, does 3.2 even have anything bigger than a 3B? Not really. They have a vision. So I think that's why I was doing a 3.1. I was using this one before because it was decently good for being an 8B. Now, I need to find... Now, I can't just hand it this, right? I can't just say, hey. Oh, yeah, it wants a GGUF. You don't happen to have a GGUF here, do you? No. Llama 3.1 8B. That's Dolphin. I don't want anything. So the concern I have with anything that's not like from Meta is it could be things that I don't want to be in the model. You can actually hand it the Hugging Face URL, but let me switch computers. Oh. Okay, let's try just handing it this. So Llama CLI. Is it still -M if I'm going to Hugging Face? Ooh, okay, so HF Hugging Face model repository. It defaults to a queue. Okay, that'll be fairly bad. Okay, so you can do HF to that. And then I think this will drop me, no. Oh, expected user model. Ooh. Wait, I have to do a username? Subod, hello. How are you doing today? Sorry if I butchered your username. Building Git from scratch, the video that caught your attention to this channel. Thanks for the nice content. Oh, thank you for that. I still have that partnership going on with them. I forgot. Why did I forget their name? Code Crafters. And it's one of the things that I've been considering doing is like coming back and just doing another challenge and trying something else. Hugging Face repos are like GitHub repos. Okay, that makes sense. But do I need to like have an account for this? Can't I do like public access? No, okay, I don't need an account for this. Oh, wait. So maybe user model. So this user is Meta Llama. That's what it is. Not my user. Meta Llama. Okay, maybe it's that. The model is private or does not exist. Okay, cool. All right. So here is there anything public from Meta Llama that I can choose? Or how do I know? Oh, they probably didn't actually make a baked model. So therein lies the problem that I have, which is how do I trust? For reference, almost people consider the bloke reference. Okay, so the bloke llama 3.1. So there's Mistral, Code Llama, Tiny Llama. Okay, so the bloke llama. There's llama 2. Well, this will get me to their account. Okay, 30B. Oh, these are llama 1. Okay, maybe I can do. Okay, so I want llama. Maybe like an 8B. Oh, I want GGUF. Okay, Unsloth, Meta Llama. Okay. I'll trust you on this. Unsloth is the other group that's on the trusted shortlist. Okay, that's good to know. All right, so repository is not GGUF or is not compatible with Llama CPP. What brought you to Rust? My motivation was for writing smart contracts on Solana. Yet a quick question for you. How do you get a job in Rust? What are things that one must focus on in Rust? I guess there's a couple questions to that. What got me into Rust was back when I was teaching in JavaScript. So it was a web development code school. That was way back in like 2015 or so. It was 10 years ago. I was doing so much front-end code. I was thinking like, okay, I want to get back into and do some like back-end compiled languages, strongly typed, that kind of stuff. TypeScript was out, but it was, not nearly the beast that it is now. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do C. I'm gonna get back into C. I did that for a little tiny bit when I was a systems administrator. And then one of my coworkers pulled me aside and said, no, don't do C. Do something new, do something fresh. Why don't you check out this Rust thing? It's still in beta, but it's really nice. And so that's what I did. I sort of started hanging around in some Rust meetup groups back then, checking things out. And then eventually I started streaming, going through the book. And that was the entire motivation, was just to like keep my programming axe sharp, or my tools sharp, as it were, with strongly compiled languages, because the companies I work with tends to be more web dev, and that also tends to mean more React, Vue, Angular, JavaScript, TypeScript type of things. So that's the reason for that. Now, getting a job is always a little bit tough, especially in this economy. This economy is just really weird because some people find it really easy to find jobs, and then some people find it extremely difficult to find jobs. And it doesn't matter if you're junior, senior, that difficulty is like just going up and down across the board for everybody. So it's gonna be networking. You're gonna have to find somebody related to the jobs you're trying to get into, to know that you exist, to trust you, to just sort of like know who you are. That is casting a pretty wide net. It's not, I know it's not super helpful in like a like follow these 8 steps and you'll get a job. But that's unfortunately sort of where we are right now. My recommendation, if I were to give like the 8 steps or so, would be host, like go and speak at meetups, not just attend. Actually try to get yourself on the speaker list to talk about things, anything. Do attend lots of meetups. Try to get sponsored to go to conferences or something like that. They're so expensive. Even if you can't go to a conference, if you can go to like the city or someplace that they're in, there are sometimes after parties that are not part of the conference. And if you know the right people, which again, tough to like be able to get your foot in the door, but that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get your foot in the door networking wise so that people can start to understand who you are and then find you. Does that make sense? You forgot how bad early llama was. Yeah, and that's the problem with oh yeah, you mean like 3 or 2? I assume that you just launched it on your system. Okay, so that's not the right URL. Okay, this one might work. Let's try you. Unsloth Llama 3.2 3B. Oh, it's a 3B. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. Hey, I think it's gonna work. At least we have a much higher chance that this is gonna work. Oh yeah, the quant. I think the quant is half of that, which oh, is this gonna Q4 KM the Q4 KM? That seems like it's a bad idea. How do I say the quant? Oh, okay. It's grabbing that by default. I thought that there was something in here that the default quant is gonna be 4km, which might quant 4km the quant 4km. Well, no or yes. Where was this? I thought I saw in here somewhere that it's going to quant. Maybe it's at the top. No. It's going to quant the quant, which would be really bad. But we'll try it. I mean, what's the worst I can do? It'll just be a completely idiotic AI. That's the worst. Which is perfectly fine for our project today. Okay, no, this doesn't quant the quant. Which would be hilarious though if it did that. And we just weren't actually paying attention to it. Chantilly, subscribe to Prime. Thank you so much, Chantilly, for the subscription. Thank you. 60 months too. That's a huge amount of time. Oh, we can go to the URL on Hugging Face and look at. I need to find this URL again. Okay. Oh, that's what I meant. It chose the quant by default if it exists, this one. And that's 2.02 gigabytes. Okay, not bad. My understanding about how this works is that with the GGUF, this size is how much memory it's going to take up on your system when it's actually running the AI. Now, when I got this notebook, I maxed out the memory. So I have 64 gigabytes or so. Some of that's taken up by the operating system. Some of it is taken up by running Rust. Best case scenario, I probably could fit a like 55 gigabyte model on there. Obviously, that's going to be pretty big for downloading. So that'd be a thing too. Yeah, any quant. Before I moved, I did meet with a data scientist who works with AI professionally, and I asked them about quants and what their feelings were, and he made it very clear that he felt that using a quant at all for any purpose is just a waste of time. They just completely makes the AIs like very dumb. He's wrong. I mean, he also works on like, probably I think it's one of those things where it's like when you're used to working with like the really good expensive tools, looking at anything else is probably, unusable, at least for his use cases, right? I don't actually know if I can tell you what he was working on. He didn't tell you I could, so. You can't quant the entire model blindly. That's where most people go wrong. Oh, that's probably what it is then. Because I think when you quant with, because I could quant on a system, like I can take an FP16 and then quant just here, and it's I think a blind thing, and that would take it down a notch. Okay, so let's see. We're hello. Say that a user was trying to add let's see. Oh no, it's just subtract, let's say. Subtract 100 from 10. But we're using a unsigned integer. This is obviously illegal. Please return a number that will not crash the app. Let's just see if something simple like that. Oh. No, don't write code. Oh, I can't up arrow it. That doesn't have it. Only respond with the result. For example, 10. Cool. Okay. So the number that it chose to respond is that. That's this is going to go great. This is actually going to go as well as I was hoping it would. Did I finish my last project, the course platform? So I do have an LMS in in production, and that you can buy courses on it and take it. I have 2 courses on there. So yes, in that case, that was finished, but there's a lot of stuff that I can do with it. And I've actually, during my time doing some consulting, there's some changes I want to make to it to aid me in the consulting side of things. So the way perceptrons work, yes, the 1960s tech that today's LMs are essentially based on uses gradient descent algorithms. You don't need to get the exact number right as long as the magnitudes work. Let's say you have 2 apples to apples models. One is very few weights, but high precision. One is a lot of weights, but low precision. Both use the same RAM. The high weight count, low precision model would produce better results. Ooh, nice. I do want to, do I have the book back here? No, I think it's in my other, I have another, I have a library of books in the other bedroom, and I have one that was suggested to me by somebody, a friend of the stream, Dan Levy, who has been on the stream before with us. He suggested it for learning like how to build AI type stuff natively on its own. Something that we might want to eventually get into because there's a lot of exercises to sort of play around with. But we'd be creating perceptrons and doing all that kind of stuff. So fun times. Okay, so I can technically get it to respond with what I want, which is great. Now did it put quotes around there, or did the other thing put quotes around there? If I don't put quotes around, oh, I can't go backwards? Fine. Oh, I put quotes around there because my example had quotes. Okay, excellent. So that's great. So then what I want to do, I believe that you were talking about Llama, not CLI, but was it Llama server? You don't tell me anything. Okay, Llama server runs the OpenAI implementation. That's what I want to do. Okay, so Llama server runs this. So I want to run this entire thing, but instead of CLI server, I mean, I think that it's running. Is this the... Oh, this is the chat template. Okay. So I don't think there's any big errors. I should probably one day go through this and sort of like look at the options. Okay, so we can see... Oh, I'm using whatever default context length they have too. That'll be interesting to play around with too. Localhost 8080 shows a GUI chat template if you ran it right. Okay, hold on. I do have a GUI chat template. So we do indeed have that. Perfect. Okay. Now, and in fact, we could even look at our network calls to just see how that was called, can't we? So it did a post to localhost completions. This is a JSON object, so it sent a bunch of stuff. Okay, it sent 3 messages. Oh, right, this entire thing where it sends the first thing I sent, it sent what it sent. So this is the context. And then it looks like they're sending a bunch of settings to try to make it sane for us. And then we get the response. We got what? No response? How does that work? I'm kind of surprised that I didn't get a response from that. If the model knows how to use them, it can display Markdown, Mermaid, LaTeX, and a few other things. The web frontend just calls the OpenAI API correctly. This web UI would theoretically work on anybody's inference service, not just Llama C++. Yeah, as long as they implement the OpenAI spec. So that does make sense. However, I'm sort of shocked that there was no response for this. Was this... I mean, it's a post. It's not a WebSocket, right? It just feels a little bit weird. But we have insomnia. So I should be able to... Let's close you. Let's create a new folder. We're going to call this Llama CPP. We're going to call this... I think it's generate is what they called it. How do I... There you go. Generate. It's going to be a post. So localhost. I guess that's just the server's running on 8080. And then now I don't actually know if I need to send any of these. I think I just need to send messages. I think that's what I care about. And then everything else I could probably set. Oh, it's streamed back. Ooh, I bet that's what it was. It's streamed back. Which I guess Firefox isn't like, because it's a stream, it didn't show it under response. Still a little bit odd that it didn't do that. But okay, I want body, JSON. Let's do messages. You're an array. And then you're just gonna have content and then a role. And so we start with role user, and then the response is role assistant. So if I do content, you're going to be hello, role is user. Now, I'm not going to send anything, so it should be the first response from this. Right. It did not send to that. It sent to V1 chat completions. Okay, this is what I got back. Choices. Interesting. So it will potentially give us multiple choices. Can you see this? Message role assistant. Okay. How can I help you? So I could now update this and add in. I think I can just take this. No, this. Throw you in there. Add another one in here as my response. Be content. Please tell me the best let's see. Please tell me the lowest number in an unsigned integer. Okay, I think we have everything there. Let's see what it does. Okay, and then it gives me a long explanation, but it correctly says 0. Well, okay, it says 0, and then it goes on to say that's not correct. There is no lowest number, but no, there is a. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there is a lowest number, and that is 0. Okay, sort of like a little bit of the reasoning craziness. Interesting that it claims that it's ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo when it is not. This is a local system, so that is, I guess it's just sort of what the API returns as. The completions API is served via V1 chat completions, which is important to know when you plug it into OpenAI compatible clients, like, for example, Llama CPP, which is what we're going to be using. Yeah, okay, it doesn't fill model incorrectly, but it has to be filled, so it just puts that in there. Nice, good to know. I'm surprised it doesn't just say Llama CPP or something like that. Like, they could have just put whatever they feel like in there. But all right, so here's what we want to send in here. Now, the previous AI model connection thing that I had in Rust was all for Ollama, which is similar, but not exactly this. So we're just going to create our own new one for you specifically. So if we come back up to here, I no longer want to use this, but should I create a sub project for this, or should we just, and we can just throw this in here, it'll be fine. So I'm thinking, okay, so we have source. I'm thinking we're going to want to create inside of here a directory. Oh, I don't think I can actually create anything in here, can I? Let's, oh, I'm in it. Code Brooks builds. What is this project called? AI take the wheel. I'm gonna go into source. We're going to take, what is this gonna be? Actually, probably don't need to take. We'll just make sure. I guess this is just, this is a hard coded. It's pretty, I mean, I might as well just call the folder this if I'm also tightly coupling this to Llama CPP. That's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I'm just going to call this Llama CPP like that. Let's touch live.rs and mod.rs. Okay, so I want to mod Ooh, it finds that now. That's nice. Main here, right? I started doing something here and then I stopped it. I don't remember what I was thinking about doing. We want to make a request out. Is request still like the library to use for making requests with Rust? Oh yeah, we can absolutely do that. Probably Discord, Twitch chat is awful. Ooh, yeah, that's a good question. I can. I have Discord up over here now. So Twitch and YouTube chat over there, Discord chat over here. Although I'm not in streamer mode for that. You won't be able to hear it though when I go off because I did not launch Discord on my the Windows system that's doing the actual streaming. Okay, so we want to do a request. Is request is still the go-to? Perfect. So we'll do a cargo add request. I think that's the right set of features. Ooh, I probably want, by default, request is async, right? I don't remember that either. Or is it sync? I'm going to need Tokyo. Ooh, can I get Tokyo from request? Okay, so for example, can I use... No, okay, so it doesn't re-expose Tokyo. Okay, this asynchronous example uses Tokyo and enables some optional features. Okay, so I wonder if I can pull in just latest Tokyo and just use I could probably just bring in Tokyo and then use full features. How long is that going to be to compile? Cargo add Tokyo. I think it was capital F full. Yeah, full is now enabled. Yeah, several days later. Oh, okay. That was fast to pull it in. It's probably going to be the compile that's going to take forever. If I go ahead and just start. Let's just run you, get the compile going. Okay, that was still pretty fast to compile everything. Has Rust made some improvements when it comes to compile speed? Because that was pretty good. And this is a 4-year-old computer too. Okay, so back to our example. Oh, right, request. We have to add the features JSON to this. let's get that done really quickly. Nah, Tokyo just isn't shit. I remember back in the day when we added Tokyo for a web project and it made everything really slow. It was like a minute compile time between. I guess they got better. They got good. Okay, so we'll do Tokyo main. We will then be able to do request get, awaits, and all that stuff. So perfect. Okay, so this is Tokyo main. We have to do async here. You're happy. Wait until some asshat is like, my app needs WASM because they wanted plugins. Well, yeah. Well, we're working on the library here. The library, unfortunately, is now going to force everybody to use async for error handling. That's fine, right? Yeah. Everybody has to use async anyways. We need more people to force people to do stuff in their apps just to use the library, right? That's the best practice. Okay, so I want to head back over to here. We probably want to open up you. Uncle Scientist, hello. How are you doing? It has been a while. The last time that I saw you online, you were working on... you were working on the Christmas project. What was that? There was like the challenges from Advent of Code. That's what it was. You were working on Advent of Code. I assume that you finished with that. It has been a while. Let's see. Okay, what is our plan here? Okay, you finished 2024, which would have been last year's Advent of Code. Yeah, that makes sense. I assume 2025 doesn't drop for 3 months. God, it's September. 3 months. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to make a request or like make a generation. So we want to make a generation for this. Now, I don't know how to organize this right at this moment. So we're going to start doing things in mod and then break things out as they make sense too. Okay, yeah, December 1st is when it starts. Advent calendar, I guess that makes sense. All right, so I want to make a request to, and then to make the request, okay, we're going to do request get. We need the URL for this. So I can do a const. This is going to be a llama CPP API URL. Oh, I have to give you a type, don't I? Because you're a const, you're going to be a... Can I just do a stir like that? Or do I have to... I don't want to make this a string. And you are... Oh, wait. I've got this in you. Okay. HTTP localhost 8080 v1 chat completions. All right. We're hard coding that. It's perfect. Nothing can possibly go wrong with this. Expected to stir, found stir. Okay. It's that. Great. Now it's just that we're not using it. Perfect. Okay, I was at a one of those like large stores, and of course they had 2 rows dedicated to Halloween, which is coming up in next month. Perfect, right? Like that's a good thing. I walked 1 more row down. Christmas. They had Christmas stuff already out. No. They put Christmas stuff at the same time that they put Halloween stuff. It's not allowed. I don't like it. It's too early for goddamn Christmas. I agree with you. And Thanksgiving, yeah, everybody just skips Thanksgiving now because it's between the 2, holidays that people, spend lots of money on. Okay. So we have you. I want to make this request, right? And I don't need anything special with headers. We just want to make, okay, so we're going to need messages. So we're going to have a pub struct now the outgoing message and incoming message role and content, exactly the same. So we'll call this an LM message, just to be really specific, which is what this is. Why did I do that? It's LM message. We're gonna have and also we're gonna want for that an enum. So pub enum LLM role. So we're gonna have user and assistant. Okay, so role is going to be an LM role. And we have content, and we're just going to make that a string. We need to make this JSON, which means we need to pull in cargo add. Oh, what's the library we use for JSON stuff? You can see how long it's been. Surday, that's what it is. I need I think I just want Surday derive, right? Let's see if I can just do this without anything else. If I want Surday derive, and I want to derive what's like my brain went to like modulate, demodulate for modems, but that's not right. I want to deserialize and serialize. That's what it is. Well, would you look at that? I no longer need to restart the language server whenever we do a cargo add. That's nice. It's in the literal goddamn name. Well, hey, I'm doing streaming. We all know that as soon as you turn on a stream, like we lose half our brain capacity. So I can't think of things like that. That's what I have chat for. Can confirm, yes. All right. So you're saying ToggleBit is actually smart? I mean, yeah. We're all smart. We just go then live to like not prove it or disprove it or something like that. There are so many times I looked at post-stream code that I thought, why did I do it that way? Yeah. No, I love ToggleBit too. Yeah. Okay, so we have our message, we have a role. Now, if I have a function here, we have a probably like generate message or generate response. Is that what it's called? The generate API? it's a completions. So let's call it generate completion. Now this is going to be async. And I am probably going to want to send like a message out for this of what I'm going to say. But I don't know if I need to send that here. Oh yeah, remember that the JSON macro exists. True. If I bring in insert a JSON, I can do that, can I? And then for testing, that's definitely going to come in handy. Actually, no matter what, it's probably going to come in handy, isn't it? Okay, so generate completion. If I excuse me. So let's just say I want like text. It's going to be a string. This is what I'm going to send out as my content. And I could even just say user content. Should I just do a result? I still like error. Although I say that still as if I've been doing a lot of programming with Rust besides then. So it's more of like, I still remember error. Do I want to respond with a, let's just do nothing for right now and it'll be fine. Okay, first things first, we're going to create the message the outgoing message. So let's, so like the next message, it's going to be an LM message with a role being an LM role user. Content is user content to owned. Okay. So we have the next message here. I want to let our response be so I can do a get, but I can't do a post from this. So I think I actually have to create a client, right? If I remember correctly, it has to be mutable. Okay, so I create a new client like that. Now I can do client dot post. That's the URL. So that's the llama CPI URL. And now we're in builder mode. I don't need to set any headers, or do I? I probably want to set, JSON. I set JSON for the JSON body, which should send. I would assume that this should set the header to be JSON too. That might be a bad assumption on my part. For the JSON, which we're gonna need the JSON macro for this. So let's go ahead and bring in, let's see, cargo add insert a JSON. Yeah, but like, because I'm using .json, shouldn't that set the content type for me by default? Like, one would think that it should, right? Okay, so if I do this, we just want messages. It couldn't infer this, even if I'm using .json. Like this function could set that, right? Maybe, possibly. We can try it and just see what happens. Oh, because this JSON, it actually, okay, so hold on. It doesn't want this. It's not liking this at all. That's not how to do it. I need to hand it a struct that can serialize. That's what I need to do. Okay. Well, yeah, JSON only makes the root object and populates it. Yeah. All right. So the LM message, all I need is messages. So I need another struct. And this is going to be, so llama CPP completion body, something like that. We're gonna want you, and all we care about is messages, and you're gonna be a vec of message. LM message. That's it. And so that mutes. What am I doing? This is going to be body equals messages, and then we'll make this an empty vec like this. We can push in, so body dot messages dot push our next message, and we throw body in here. Oh, they want that to be a reference. Okay. Perfect. All right. Let's also just get this, and then just to make that error go away. Okay, so I then send this out. So I want to send you now. We await this. That gives us a result. So do I want to unwrap you at this point in time? Probably not. Maybe. Oh, question mark. That gives us a response. We could inspect it at this point in time. We should expect this, right? So we're going to get an option with choices and a bunch of other stuff here. And I think the only thing I care about is the choices. So I want another struct. And this is going to be a llama C++ completion response. We're we're going to have a choices, which is going to be a vector. And that has an object in here, but really all I care about is message. Wow. Response message. This is going to be a message. That message is going to be this role content, which is going to be an LLM message. So that. I love this already. Okay, so I have a wait. I want to, at this point, now get this JSON, which I can convert into a llama CPP completion response. We await again and question mark you. And now I have this llama CPP completion response. And if all I want is a vector of the LLM message, I can now say that you're going to be a vec of LLM message. So response, choices. Ooh. So we have to into iter. We're going to map you. We're going to have a choice here, and I want to turn just a choice dot message, and then that just goes together. Wait, can I collect? Yeah, then I collect you, and you should auto figure out what you were going to be. No? Value type result. Oh, right, because I need you to be let messages equals to you and return okay messages, just to make that a little bit simpler. How do you normally see people do that? Because this is how I've always done it. Here, by just using structs and then having Serde turn it into, or having request turn this into a object for us, or I guess the stringified version for us. Okay, so now I can generate this completion, which means we can head back to the main library. Let's pub function run. It's gonna have to be async. Let's result this with I don't actually care. Let's just not do that. And I want to, so how do I want to do this? I want to, what language am I running on? Let our response gonna be generate completion. User content. We're just gonna say hello. Await question mark. That gives us a vec of the message. And then I want to probably just debug the response. Which you're going to yell at me because these need to implement debug too. Okay, I want to select all. Select. Okay, anything that has a derive. Okay. Expected or oh, yes. And then okay, like that. Great. We head over to main. And we will call run. We will await. And then unwrap, because at the end of the day, everybody likes unwrapping. It's like Christmas. It's okay to talk about Christmas, right? We've some stores are talking about it, so we can do that. It's like unwrapping presents. Kuvi Man, rating with a party of 20. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Kuvi Man, how you doing? It's been a long time. What were we working on recently? I have no idea what my stream delay is either, because it has been a while. You quit Rust to write your own language in OCaml. Oh, nice. How is that going? That sounds both intimidating and fun at the same time. Nigel Withrow, hello. The video download was canceled. Please try again. Anyone else? Oh, is that from Twitch? That sounds a little bit odd. I have the stream open in Restream and open on Twitch. So like at a couple different places, and it seems to be working for me still. So I don't know about that. Dev Ninja, hello. How are you doing today? It's called Cast. That is a pretty cool name. It's fun, but your scope is too big, so you'll never finish probably. That does feel like a lot of these projects that we work on, doesn't it? All right, everybody, I'm coming back from a fairly long break from streaming. Let's see, I think the last time I streamed was in February. And then since then, I've been doing like the entire management thing. So you know how that is. Managers don't know how to code. Managers, just like tell you what to do and all that fun stuff. So here I am trying to remember how to code and all that, be a dev again. I moved also, which is why no green screen. You just have the not necessarily super clean background behind me. And I am on Starlink internet. So if there's any weirdness with the stream, that's probably it. The project we're working on is called AI Take the Wheel. The idea is going to be whenever you run into any errors with Rust, normally you want to like crash out or do something similar like that. What if instead of that, we just asked AI, hey, can you just figure out what a good continuing data point this should be? It tells us that, and then we just continue on. We don't crash at all. Everything should be fine, right? It's perfect. I think that'll be the future of error handling. We just ask AI what to do instead of erroring. Nothing could possibly go wrong with this idea. So that's what we're working on today. We're about to run our test connection to Llama CPP, which we have locally. That error showed up in Brave and Safari for you, but Firefox works. Oh, that's fun. So basically, try a different browser. But the assumption is that you are watching Kuviman from that same browser. So that's odd too. Great. Oh, I wonder if it's also because apparently I turned off Ads Manager at some point in time. So I think everybody has pre-roll ads added. Should probably do something about that to remove them. I wonder if the ads broke it. Because ads, we can blame ads, right? Nobody likes them. All right, let's run this and see whether or not we can actually do the thing. Unwrap on an error value, decoding a response body. Okay, caused by unknown variant assistant. Oh, right. Expected user assistant at line 1 column 75. Oh, because it was lowercase here and it wanted it to be uppercase. Because this is what we get back. We get a lowercase back. So if I remember correctly, we can fix this with Serde, right? I can say when like deserializing to do lowercase. We may have to look that up. Serde RS. Do you have a search? I don't see a search window. Now, I would love if there was a way for me to just say lowercase is okay, but I can also deserialize with just like a custom name. And that would be fine too. That's what it is. Rename all. Do I want lowercase? I probably want this. Serde, rename all lowercase. And I think that's just here. So Serde. Oh, I was hoping I can get auto completion there. So rename all. Ooh, okay, at least I get that help. So if I do that, I wonder if this will just work. Unknown variant assistant expected user or assistant. Which, okay, so that didn't work. This was from deserializing as opposed to serializing. Although this should work with serialize versus deserialize. Okay, that's not, I don't think, what I care about. Yeah, okay, so there's that rename all camel case, but I want rename all lowercase. Oh, but I think, okay. I was hoping that would kind of do it. So it was line 44. Okay, which was this. So I believe it was coming back. So it hits you, and that should be fine. Unknown variant, assistant, expected user, or assistant, which is consistent with this coming back. And the only time that we can see something that's assistant or user is right here, the role in the message. So that's role, LM role. Here's our LM role. I want you to be user assistant. I want you to be renamed all, so lowercase. It works for both ways, right? Serialize and deserialize. I would imagine so. I don't want to implement that manually. I don't think I need to. You would help, but you've been distracted by an argument on IRC over RDNA A4. That sounds like quite the argument. Also, I haven't been on IRC in forever. Okay, I need to remember how to like actually handle this with Serde. IRC shall never die. No, it probably won't ever die. I remember every once in a while some companies try to like update IRC. I don't know if that's ever actually happened. I don't want a default value. I'm wondering if the rename isn't exactly what I want. We can just try searching for this. So like Serde, Rust. I guess we do RS. And we have JSON, enum. So lowercase. Oh, wait. I wonder if there's something else I can try. So instead of serialized fields, where was the description of all the different ones? Serde rename deserialize equals. Okay, that's probably what I want to do. Serde rename. And then that's a function that then I can take serialize equals deserialize equals. Okay. So serialize equals, this is going to be, so when we serialize, it's lowercase. When we deserialize, it's camel case. I guess Pascal case. No, not back there. There. Maybe you'll like it a lot more. Caused by unknown variant. Assistant, expected user, or assistant. At line 1, column 75. That's not what I wanted. D-Laws, hello! Twitch chat is basically an upgraded IRC. I think they downgraded the upgrades at some point and moved some stuff to API like kickspans and bit stuff, but it's still IRC. I do remember that like some programs that I had that was just connecting straight through IRC, I think they got, I don't know, turned off or stopped working for some stuff. So I'm not surprised. But back to this. So when I deserialize this, I want to come in as Pascal case, but that didn't. Okay, so serialize, turn it into the string, deserialize, turn the string back into the object. User and assistant are coming in lowercase. So we get the lowercase u user, the lowercase a assistant. I need to turn it back into LM role and like be okay with that. That's what I need. I mean, I assume Pascal case is what we want, but maybe it doesn't understand that. Or oh, that's like one word still. I don't think I need like any special path or anything like that. At least I don't think that I need to. Is there a way for me to log what I got back in? JSON should be outlawed, only Ron. I think that's Rust object notation, right? I don't remember if we really tried it or not. I mean, the problem is that Ron only works in Rust, right? Like nobody else has adopted that, but JSON's been adopted by every single language ever. It's going to be a tough sell to get everybody to switch now. Okay. So the problem is here, right? Line 44. So here. So somewhere in here. Now, I have my response like this. Here. We'll just shadow response there. So now we broke it up into two parts. So we have a response. Now, can I debug the response? Maybe. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh, that removes the response. Okay, hold on. If I... Oh, right. Okay, we'll have to panic here. So text equals... Wait, can I clone? I cannot clone you. Okay, so we'll just get the text. We'll await question mark that. We'll print line. Got from API the text, and then we'll just panic. Yeah, okay, so doesn't care anymore that response has been moved because we're panicking. I think that's how it works. Either way. Ooh, okay, so I got something. So got from API. All right, so we have object choices, an array, finish reason, index, message, role assistant, content, hello, how can I help you assist you today? Okay, that seems appropriate. And it is indeed a lowercase a. And I'll just keep that up there so I can reference it. Okay, so our response back, starting here. Here's our response. We have choices. That is a vector with a message. The message has message, singular. That has the message there. Role assistant. So role, role, user and assistant. Oh, 1S. I wonder if that's our problem. We misspelled it the entire time. I want to try not doing that. Ah, okay. So I do need to rename. Still. So unknown variant ASSISTANT. Okay, I've actually spelled assistant correctly this time. That's fun. So let's try this again. We'll do Survey. I think it was just rename. Was it rename all? It was rename all. And I want this to be lowercase, because technically that's what it's looking for anyways. There we go. That's what we're looking for. So we get back from this our role assistant, content, hello, how can I assist you today? And the music died, which is perfect time to take a break because I've got an hour left or so. So we've been streaming for like 2 hours. So hold on, I'm going to get up, stretch for a little bit, and restart the music too. All right. So we have our response. Perfect. Now, we'll probably want to eventually have some kind of system message for this, which I believe that I can send as part of the request. I think we can do this here, right? Like I can actually send, we have messages. Can I say system and just say, you are a cat? You can only respond by saying, meow. Now let's remove these other messages. So we just have our hello. No. That is not how to set the system prompt as part of the request. So we'll need to look up how to set the system in, let's see, where is my, was it like Open AI API, like just standard set system prompt, llama CPP. Yeah, okay, well that's how to set it with the command line prompt, which I mean I could do, but can't I do, isn't that something you can do as part of the request? But I probably don't care about what this is. I just want system. Because like this might be closed too. There's a lot of things to look through. Okay, how about I search for llama CPP API system prompt with the request. I mean, okay, so the only user prompt and a way to pass the system prompt. But that is a Stack Overflow 3, and that might not be what I'm looking for. Oh, if the message role is system. Oh, that's how I can do it? I set the system prompt at the beginning. So up here, I would say role system content you are a cat. This goes away. Okay. Oh, haha, I missed it. Okay, you are a cat. You can only respond by saying what cats can say. Okay, so meow. Perfect. So I would need to set the system ahead of time and then pass that in at the beginning of each message. Okay, we can do that. We'll add in here a system. And let's add in a new sort of system prompt here. You set the system prompt at the server start time. I guess that also makes sense. But if I want other people to sort of like at least play around with this to sort of check it out, then having it be here, I think helps, because then we can get consistent results. That's like my thought on this. Plus then people might forget to set the system prompt at the server start time. Okay, so system prompt. What we want to do here is we want to say, you are helping to debug a computer system or a program and get it back on track. Given the data and the error message, please respond with only the data that will let the program continue. All right. No idea if that's actually enough or if that will work. But here we can say, let our system prompt equals, we want an LM message. We're gonna have our role. LM. Why am I not getting? Why? Oh, because I did two columns. There. Okay, so system there. Content is now going to be system prompt to owned. We do body messages. Okay, so we push the system prompt in first. Great. We're going to come back to here. No, back to here. And okay, so instead of hello, let's actually give it a like an actual error message. So error what would be a good error if like I tried to subtract too much? So or what is that called? Underflow. It had a number like uint underflow, error underflow, unsigned integers cannot be below 0. Okay, so if I just do that, I want to see whether or not it tries to respond with, well, 0. If it responds with something really large, that's still hilarious, and we're going to go with it. Assistant, here's the data that might cause the issue. Array index 0, array value equals -1. Okay. Well, that wasn't exactly what I was looking for. It gave me some text back. Now I could wrap the message, the error, in like another message, say like, hey, give me only this, but kind of like trying to figure out how to update the system prompt to give us exactly what I want. So I don't want it to help debug a program. So you're helping to keep a program running. Given the data error message, please respond with only the data that will let the program continue. For example, 15, if the response should be a number, or I should actually give it double quotes. And just escape those. Hello world, if a string. Okay, let's try that. Oh yeah, okay, so this time it sent a string 0. I'll probably need to tell it if that needs to be a number. Oh, don't. Leave off quotes if responding with a number. It still keeps the quotes in there. Try to run it multiple times. It's still giving the quotes in with it. We can parse that, and it should be fine. I can also we can also like say like other interesting things like error, response from user was an empty string. We had asked them for their display name. Let's just see what it comes up with that. Unknown user. Okay. I mean, that kind of works. This is a very small model, so it's not that big of a deal. The fact that it's actually responding with this is pretty nice and pretty good. Okay, great. So, let's see. Now, if I wanted to do some error handling with this, I want to basically implement my own version of unwrap, don't I? Because the idea would be I guess it doesn't have to be my own version of unwrap. Can I do that? Can I like up here do impl oh, what is it? It's impl result. Because I know that there's some things that I can set. It's like impl result. I want function unwrap. Ooh, but this is, oh, right. This is the error result. Okay, hold on. Before I get to that, let's create a new file. I'll probably want to create this somewhere around here. So let's do a make directory. We'll call this AI error. Touch AI error mod.rs. Oh. I hate when I add a Q in by accident there. It's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so we're sitting in here. We have our entire AI type thing. I want to experiment with, can I impl unwrap off of result? So I want ooh, isn't there like a type? An interface result. And it's not any of those. I could do something off of error results. Oh, but standard result. Okay, so impl standard result. Okay. So unwrap isn't one of these things, is it? Or what if I created a new one called function AI AI unwrap? I've never actually done this before where I extend essentially something. I know that there's some types in Rust that you can extend and sort of like add in your own functions to. I think like options is one of them. Results might be another one that I can do something like that. But yeah, not this one. Cannot define inherent impl for foreign type. So I'm not allowed to do this. I would need to create my own result, and then I could add in like an AI unwrap or something like this. So I would have to create like a full error handling library where I create like my own result which implements result. I mean, that kind of works. What if I just create my own function? So if I create like a function that takes in an error or an error message, so we call this AI take it. This never can fail. It's probably going to return T because we're going to take in whatever result we can from this. Oh, I wonder if it's a report that I want. No, I probably want this to be a string. Because that way it can handle whether or not this is an error or an anyhow error or anything like that, or a just like, hey, just here's the problem. I described what the problem is to you, and you figure it out. So if I say this is the problem, and it is, I can say it's impl into string. One thing at a time. I'll do the return generic soon. So we have our, let's see, our problem. I could do an into init to create that as a string. It's really our message. I mean, I think I can just call the AI at this point. So let AI response. We generate a completion. I guess. If this can go into a string there. Ooh, what? Can I do impl as stir? I don't know if I want to do that. What if we just change you to be a stir? That's how we're going to start with you. And also, this needs to be an async. Okay, so a response, we're going to take you. We're just going to throw our problem straight in here. The problem here is that we can't actually crash. So we try not to crash. And if that doesn't work, yeah. I could have a generic type T for like, hey, AI take it or this, like, or the default thing. We could figure something like that out. Right now we'll crash, and that'll be fine. What's the problem? What can possibly go wrong here? Now we get the latest LM message, which I kind of want to change. And I just want the latest LLM message. That's all I really care about, don't I? So I don't want the vec. And I want the last one. Now, this gives me that. We collect. Now, can I get the last? That's not a method that I can. Oh, messages dot. Yeah, okay, so this is, wait, this is a, oh, I have to tell you what you are now. So you're a vec of LM. Message? I can get last, which gives me an option, which I suppose makes sense. Because hey, what if there is none here? Because yeah, that is a possibility that it doesn't exist, which means ooh, but I'm trying to think, like, do I want to just unwrap and crash here? Or do I want to like have a default that I switch to? I could have a default that I switch to. What if I do unwrap or else? It's a function, right? So, and the function is LM. Now, last gives me a that gives me a reference to it. Is there a way for me to get like last owned? Now, all these are references, which is unfortunate. I could do into iterator. Now last gives me the actual thing. Unwrap or else. So okay, now you're gonna work. I want role is gonna be LM role assistant. And then content, we'll say, that ended really early, like music wise. Let me just start it from the beginning of the playlist. Oh, that's why I don't have loop on. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. Content. Okay, so we don't know what type this should be, so it's really just going to be LM failed to help. Sorry. You need to be a string. All right. So that's what we're going to get back. We're going to get the singular thing back. We do have a hard error here. Why do you have... I mean, okay, so I have generate completion here. Why are you requiring generics? Okay, we have no errors anymore. We just have some warnings. That's fine. Okay, so I generated completion. We hand it user's problem. Now, I guess there's still some errors that could happen, but if I make that a function here, if I say function AI failure, this is just going to return an LM message. If this just returns an LM message, which would actually just be the default message, but this is going to be fine. This is going to be fine. I mean, I just want to return this. We're gonna turn to you. Then now we can get away with not having a result at all. We'll have to change this a little bit. So we have the system prompt, we have that. So anytime we did a question mark, here, okay, so now I want to say if let, no, it's not let, it's let, it's an error, right? So it's gonna be okay. The response was that, else we're gonna return AI failure. Right? You're happy with that? And then same thing here. Okay. There's no question mark here. Now we don't have an okay here. We enter iterator last, unwrap or else. And the unwrap or else is we call AI failure. Okay. So now I no longer need to unwrap you. We get the unwrap. And then here, okay. All right, cool. So we don't need that result anymore. You're yelling at me because unused variable. Okay, so in the AI ticket, we get the response from this. It could be the actual response, or it could be just a generic like, "Hey, couldn't do this. Good luck." I want to at this point try to turn it into the value that it was, or default or something like that. Now, if let's just print line this, and we'll just sort of deal with it there. Just like one step at a time, like figure out whether or not this is even coming close to working. So, AI take it says AI has said, and then if I do something like that, now the AI response, I need the accent. Okay, so I don't want to hear. I want to do AI response dot. Oh, I can't actually do content there because it's not pub. The LM message, I want you to be public. So now I have access to content. There. Okay. So What is something that we can do that will cause an error? Let's see. Let's do a function like this is, call this underflow. Now I want to return a result with a number. So let's do like a U32. That's the type that we're going for here. Underflow would be something like I have, I wonder if it's actually going to let me do this. Page 10, 100 minus 10. Now I can't do that because that's actually going to cause a crash, isn't it? Can I do something like sub? So uncheck sub just returns it. Did I say there was an unwrapping sub? Okay, there's a checked sub. Checked integer subtraction computes that, returning none if overflow occurred. Isn't underflow if it's sub? Okay, so we want check sub unsigned. Oh, that wraps around. Okay, so I want check sub unsigned. We subtract from 10. This will cause an error. This is going to be an option that we have. So let's just one step at a time this. Can't call method. Oh, because it doesn't know what this is. This is a U100. Oh, how do I tell it? Wasn't there like a way that I can do something like U100 or something like that? Or is it afterwards? I forget how to do that with numbers, to like say what the type is. Let's do a, because I want to do the, okay, I want to do the actual calculation and return it into results. All right, this said it would, oh, can't I, with error, I can do a context? Because result is an option, right? What's the thing that turns it into an error? Okay, fine. Let's first the U32 equals 100. So U32 equals 10. We'll just be explicit. Let result equals first, second. Oh, there's no name. Okay. Uncheck sub. wrapping sub. A checked sub. That's probably what I want. A checked sub. That gives me an option. And I want to return this as a... I don't want to unwrap it here. Transform the option into a result, mapping some v to OK v and none to error error. Okay, so we can do okay or else. I wonder if I have to move this in or if these numbers will copy. So I want to say that this message is going to be a big part of the error handling here with the AI. So we're going to say attempting to subtract two unsigned integers together and then we'll say oh, I probably have to format this, right, to get them together. So we have first, second, but ran into an error. Okay. So if I just do that, that's our error message. That converts this into the results. Mismatch types. Expected enum results. Airport founded. Oh, because okay. Do I want this to be an error? That. Can't I pull in? Use error. Where is the macro? It's like this macro exists. There it is. Okay, now you're happy. So I can now attempt to run the underflow. So let our response, so let our bad math equals write the underflow, but it gives us a result. So we're going to have to match this. And now if we have okay, that gives us a good number, right? So we have our number and we just want return a number and we're fine. If we have an error, why are you upset? Shouldn't you know what type of error this is? Because this is an error. I mean, because if I panic, just to move this. Okay, so error report. So now you know what type this is. No? You don't know what the type this is? Mismatch types expected function item function result 32 found enum result. Oh, I didn't call the function. That's my problem. I want to call the function here. There we go. Now I have error, which is a report. So I believe that I can get this message out and then hand it to our AI take it. We're going to multi-line this. And then we'll probably panic because, or I'll just give it a default like 0 or something like that. It'll be fine. So if I run AI take it, we hand it the error. Now I want something that gives us a string. I don't think it's toString. I think we might need to go take a look at the error library and what a report is. Actually, I was able to go straight to the documentation here. I want to find, oh, there's a report right here. When you print an error object using that or toString, only the outermost underlined error is printed, not any of the lower level causes. This is exactly as if you had called the display impl of the error from which you constructed your error report. To print causes as well, using error's default formatting of causes, use the alternate selector. Okay, so we can start with just toString, apparently. So perfect. So error toString as stir. Yes, I know. And why did you do that? I wanted this to be its own thing. And then here, let's just return a 0. To be simple. Okay. Oh, and then you need to await, which is fine. Oh, you fixed KDE. You went from 5 to 6, the widget that shows the taskbar, which you have choices, change names. You just had to add a new one. Nice. I haven't used KDE in forever. I haven't really used GUI Linux in a long time. And then I guess for right now, we'll just print line ran bad math, got bad math. Okay, so we're trying to run this. This is the error that I'm putting together. There might get like a better error out of this. I'm not really sure. I'm actually really curious. Because like maybe if I converted this option, it would be better. But I think this is us having to do this with like simple problems like you. So if I run this, ran bad math, got 90. Did I dyslexize this? I dyslexized this. Yeah. First number. Wait. 100 minus 10 should be negative 90, right? So 10 from 100 is going to be 90. Is this going to be the same thing? Oh, okay. So apparently not. This is the way I wanted to do it from. Okay, so AI has said 0. Bad math got 0. Now, the problem is I'm not actually using this. If I replaced you with, like, you know, U32 max, something like that, this would also work, but obviously not be what we're looking for. So the AI ran and said what the user was expecting to get 0. Okay, that's great. Now, how do I deal with the generics for this? Because in here, I need to know what type this is going to be. So if it's a number, I need to convert it back into the number. And if it's a string, I convert it into the string, JSON, whatever I need to do. If we just support really basic types to begin with, we're gonna respond with a T, right? So if I just do that, cannot find T in the scope. Right, we need to tell you. Can I just tell you? No. Isn't this like where we do T like you? It's been forever since I've set up a generic. That's how to set up what the generic is going to be, right? Oh yeah, now it's just telling me that I'm not returning anything. That's fine. Now, if I were to say, I wonder if we're going to have to implement some kind of like into or something like that. This context is actually a number, isn't it? I wonder if I can parse it, but we don't know what to parse it as. Oh, but might be able to. The other thing, though, is that I could just say AI take it returns a string and I parse it on the other side. That's a little bit annoying, but it would be interesting to see if maybe this does sort of work at this point in time. So if let's respond with AI response.content. Take ownership. We don't. It's okay. We're sort of done with it anyways. We're going to create a new one next time around. Next time we get an error. So I get where am I putting this? In run, here it is. We have AI take it. we get the result. So this is going to be the AI result equals this. You're going to be a string. And then I want to AI result parse as a U32. And we just do unwrap our default. That becomes a 0. Ooh. 0 makes it really hard for me to know if it actually worked on that. Let's just unwrap it. Okay. There's no errors. It has said 0, ran bad math, got 0. Okay. I mean, that's good. I mean, okay. So like the generic, not generic, that's the wrong word. The basic part of the error handling library is sort of like starting to take shape, where I can hand it an error and then the AI attempts to return the value that I want it to be so that I can continue running the program. Now, it's not like we would need to implement our own result type. It would need to handle generics. It would need to do all that stuff to be a real thing. But as sort of like a, hey, this is a fun sort of like a little project to see if like you can add in AI to just do random weird stuff, like just guess what the user meant. This is the beginning of it. We can actually continue on with this. We could create our own result, our own unwrap essentially. We do AI take it, we hand it the problem, we hand it the error. Now, right now it only works with numbers, right? No, it's actually not true. It can handle strings too. What's a string? What's an error that we can get from function? So it wouldn't be underflow, it would be maybe accessing array that doesn't have anything. So bad access. So let's do a result with a vec of string. And so we have our list that's going to be a vector. We have this be essentially empty to begin with. And I want to return list of 5. Now that crashes right there, right? So I actually want to get that gives me an option. So get index 5. And I want to okay or else. And then we give it our custom error message here. So attempting to get index, or attempting to get item from array of let's say like greeting messages that the user created. Item at index 5 doesn't exist though. So if I just do that, mismatch types, what am I supposed to be returning? So list, get expected, a result, vex string, found enum result. Oh, I keep on forgetting. I need to own this, don't I? Because you get me that into iter. Oh. There was like a to owned, right? As owned. Come on. What? I can't. Oh, what's that? IT. Okay. Wasn't there like an as owned or something like that where I can take ownership of it? Ooh, cloned? Cloned or copied? We'll do cloned. Okay, I think you're happy now. So now we can try bad access here instead. So let's replace you for bad result. So instead of underflow, we're now going to do bad access. Instead of number, we're going to rename to just result. A result, a take it, error to string. Now, I probably don't want to parse this time. I just want to hand it back the AI result. Although if I parse it into a string from a string, that actually works, doesn't it? Expected of vec. String, found struct string. Oh. You're right. This shouldn't get back a vec. Right. Okay. So let's see what this says. It said null. I mean, it's not wrong. Nope. It's not wrong, but that could be better. So attempting to get item from an array of greeting messages that you have used. Item in X5 doesn't exist though. Make up a greeting. Ran bad math. Got hello, welcome to our program. Okay, so it gave us a string. I'm actually curious if I can parse. Oh, I parsed from a U32. So you have to sort of like assume, you have to know what you're getting back, which you would know. I could call. So we would just get rid of results. We would call it from here, wouldn't we? Vampire, hello. How's it going? It's been a while. You don't even let AI handle any part of my code. The AI amnesia is real. Well, this is the best part. You're not letting the AI handle the code. You're just asking the AI, what should we do? We're crashing. What should we do? And then And so it's not handling code at all. It's just like, giving you I would say sensible, but it's probably not. I would expect this to become very nonsensical pretty quickly, but we basically never crash anymore. We just do something else, which is great, right? Perfect. What can possibly go wrong with this? So basically now we could, with the same AI call, handle a number or a string. And there's probably other things that we can do from this too. But we basically tell it, hey, they attempted to get this, make up a greeting or something like that. Boil the baby, toss the baby away, and drink the water. Oh yeah, I mean, you probably want to like use some kind of immersion blender at some point in time. It's hard to blend. Oh, I guess you're saying toss the baby away, but you lose a lot of nutrients. Watching from Europe right now. Nice. It's probably pretty late, right? Anyways, this has been sort of like the comeback, like, hey, let's see if I can do the stream. I can do some programming. Apparently, we were able to implement a query, a request, not really library, but just like a little bit of functions to call Llama CPP locally. We were able to identify a really small model that actually works decently well. And we're able to create, I guess, like the beginnings of a library. Not really. It's not really a library, but we're able to like do maybe like a tiny part one of a proof of concept for this. Am I gonna come back to this? I don't know. Maybe if it's something that we would like really want to do or play with, or I get more ideas with this, perhaps we could. I think. I mean, we already switched to Llama CPP, so I don't even think I need to add this into future streams here. There's a bunch of sort of like requests that have been made to work with. Some of them AI based stuff. I have some other sort of like long form projects. I have some short form projects. I'm not exactly sure what I want to sort of do with coming back to stream. I also don't know what the cadence is for streaming. I still do have 2 contracts going on right now, which means that I might not be able to stream on weekdays. So maybe it's just going to be once a week on Saturdays like this for me. I might be able to stream sort of randomly. So I guess just if you're in the Discord, pay attention to there. I will usually the day before or maybe earlier state when I'll plan on streaming. Otherwise, just sort of join the chat, follow the channel, and you'll get notifications of when I go live. I have a lot of different ideas. We'll figure out which one I want to work on and when I want to do it. Okay, so it's 9:03. Oh, that's not too late. That's perfectly fine. Let's see, other non-streaming related things. I've been doing some community gaming, sort of mornings and nights. We did one in the morning, which was more friendly to the European time zone last week on Saturday morning. We played a little bit of Factorio, and like a couple weeks before that, we played Peak with community members. So those are things that I would love to continue up. We don't have to do that streaming unless any of you want to watch us do things like play Peak or whatever on stream. Let me know one way or the other if you would like to either participate, watch, or just you don't care. Either way, I think this was a successful comeback for this. We had no problems with the stream whatsoever, so I am happy about that. I don't know exactly when I'll be back, so until next time, have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.